And welcome back to another episode of Damn the Toy Man. Thank you for joining. Today we're unboxing something. I don't know if the t-shirt kind of gives it away. You may have seen a Hot Toys Deadpool before. But have you seen a PHICEN Deadpool? This is the second piece that I own by the wonderful customizer known as Jordan Kane. Jordan Kane and I do a little bit of banter, of course, about figures, about fun stuff, about customizing. He's one of the finest PHICEN body swap customizers that I know. So much so that I actually gave him my Andrew Garfield, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 figure to see if he can maybe do a body swap for him too. Jordan, though, is very passionate and skilled in the area of customizing. Also, he has giant kahunas to actually want to unsew something and sew it back together again. I love customizing, but I reach a point with customizing and haberdashery that I just can't push any forward, and I just don't. I can't sew for anything. I have one sewing tactic, and that is the blanket stitch. For those who don't know what the blanket stitch is, you kind of go over and then you loop between the little thread that you just made. That's the only thing I know. It's just, I blanket stitch everything. When my jeans have a hole in it, bam, blanket stitch. If I get real lazy, it's just fabric glue, and I just stick something on that hole and it's done. You might recognize Jordan's name from the previous Spider-Man episode that we had, where he did Sam Raimi's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And that was the one that was so well proportioned and you could bend around. It was super cool. Instant upgrade for that figure. And I feel that Andrew Garfield's Hot Toys The Amazing Spider-Man figure would really benefit from a body swap or a PHICEN body swap. My gosh, fingers crossed. That being said, we are going to jump into the PHICEN Deadpool over here, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to bend him around. He's going to be a little bit like Gumby. And we're going to see who's more flexible, Gumby or Deadpool. Let's find out. Let's pop this box together. Boop. Just as a disclaimer, this isn't a product review of any sort. This is me just opening a box of toys and enjoying it with the lovely audience that is you. So I'm excited about this figure because I've owned the first and the second Hot Toys Deadpool several times. Deadpool's one of my favorite characters. I used to read Deadpool back in the late 90s. I was a big fan of Ed McGuinness's art style for Deadpool. That's what hooked me in. And of course, the wonderful lingo, the wit, the dry humor, the fourth wall breaking that he did. Ryan Reynolds has been a massive campaigner for a Deadpool movie. Until Deadpool got leaked, then people were like, oh my gosh, we should totally see this. The R-rated movie came out, the second movie came out, Josh Brolin came out as Cable. Amazing. Basically, Deadpool was born. Ryan Reynolds loves the character, he embodies the character. He is basically Deadpool in the same way that Hugh Jackman is Wolverine or Logan. I've had the figures several times, as I mentioned, but it's weird. Every time Deadpool has left the collection, I felt a little bit sad about it. Jordan once showed me a photo of the PHICEN Deadpool that he did. And as soon as I saw the photo, which is here, right? As soon as he showed me that photo, I'm watching him bend and move in certain ways. The body's filled out, it's proportionate. If Jordan keeps making these figures this good, I'm just gonna have to take a wheelbarrow and go, here, take my figures, take my money. He's just that good. This time around, having Deadpool is a little bit different to me because he's proportionate, he's bendy, he's got the PHICEN in there. It's got all the elements of a figure that I love collecting. That and it's customized and tweaked. It's a bit like, when you get a really nice meal and you like the meal, but you go, I wish it just had a little bit more salt or a little bit more pepper or a little bit more sugar or whatever the case may be. This type of thing feels like you have the figure and you're so close. And then of course, with this Deadpool figure, they're just those little garnishes and bam, it's the figure that you wanted. Let's pop it open and have a look. We have a bag of stuff, but I'm gonna get into this one later. It's one of those things where I'm just gonna have to put in here. The weight of the original Deadpool figure was actually pretty light, and the posability is there, and people have definitely done it. But the catch is that there's always a joint, there's always something that doesn't feel quite like it's holding or sticking. What we have here is, of course, Deadpool with the PHICEN body. Proportion-wise, you can see he's already filled out, which looks so cool. The thing that PHICEN bodies have is that it seems more anatomically correct, and you have the ability to bend and move the joints. For example, there's just this wonderful posability. Here's looking at you, kid. And the other thing is that the suit moves and crinkles more organically and real. With normal Hot Toys bodies, the only catch with them is, even though they're good and they're proportionate, there always seems to be a bagginess to it, mostly because PHICEN can fill it out, whereas hard plastic doesn't quite fill it out as much. The other catch is with your standard Hot Toys body, they have joints in them, and you can see it through the figure as well. Just looking at his legs here, like, I'm gonna try this. I don't know if this will do it, but there's so much weight to the figure that if I can, I wonder if I can just do this and just let it balance there on its own. I don't know, it's Deadpool. He could pose like this and it wouldn't matter. One of the interesting things about a PHICEN body is you can do just weird stuff like this and it'll just hold and do it. I don't want to be that person, but I'm gonna be that person. When we say anatomically correct, he's got a butt. Look at this. It's smooth. Why is that important? You can see and feel the abs. Just the silly things, but it can be done. And the joints aren't all popped out. It just looks like it's just proportionate to how a human body would move. So sometimes the question comes down to how hard is it to make a PHICEN body swap? With PHICEN body swaps, they're a little bit difficult because it depends on the complexity of the suit. It depends on the complexity of the body shape. Sometimes you'll need an M30, M31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Basically, the body shapes all differ depending on the size. The higher it goes up, the bigger the body. So for example, an M34 or an M35 is Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it depends on the role he was. For example, Conan the Barbarian, or, you know, Commando. Get to the chopper. Wait, that was Dutch Schaefer, sorry. From Predator. The fun little challenge will be, who's more posable, Deadpool or Gumby? Let's pull up Gumby's first pose. All right. Gumby, what you gonna do now? Let's do like a judo chop. If Gumby can do it, all right. The extra challenge is using this without a stand. And to be fair, Gumby doesn't have a stand either. Okay. What else can we do? I don't think this is gonna happen. Okay, if Gumby can't do it, that means Deadpool's not gonna be able to do the challenge. Come on, Gumby. All right, Gumby's holding, but that was really hard for Gumby. This is gonna be really hard for the PHICEN. You ready for this, Deadpool? Let's do it. All right. Oh God. That's like one high side kick. Oh my gosh. He actually did it. I was not expecting that. Wow, I thought that was a really hard pose for him too. You know what? Congratulations, you're both winners here. That just shows the high quality craftsmanship that JORDAN KANE put into this PHICEN body swap. Now I'm pushing the limits of the suit itself, but the way that JORDAN fitted this, the suit's in great condition already. Now, the only thing I'm doing is I might be pushing it a bit too hard, but just for the test of everything else, and with Gumby. So this is the Hot Toys Deadpool 2 figure. There was a first figure, the red was a little bit different. I actually prefer the color of the second suit like this. And what accessories does this particular Deadpool have? Let's find out together. This one I really, really like. So this is his X-Men training t-shirt. Look how well that's fitted. JORDAN's modded the neck and the pin for the head to fit in there. It's just so well fitted too. Something that JORDAN did was also put the magnets on the outside. That is so the swords will just magnetize on. That's repelling it. Does help when you use the right side. The reason why we're pulling out the swords is I'd like you to read what's here. I'm going to read it out because the camera's not going to pick it up. But if you look real carefully on the ends of the swords themselves, it says B. Arthur. B. Arthur was one of the Golden Girls and a commonly referred to reference in the Deadpool comic. And Ryan Reynolds went out of his way himself to make sure that B. Arthur from the Golden Girls definitely got her shout out as a comic book reference and of course as a wonderful Easter egg as well. We also have a set of replaceable eyes. These are also magnetic. I actually like the ones he's got on. We have a bunch of hands here. And we have this. This is odd. This is a poncho. It almost seems like this belongs to another figure. Oh wait, there's another one in the box. Oh, there he is! This is a customized version of Cable as played by Josh Brolin in Deadpool 2. It looks like it's using the Toys era body here, but Jordan may have padded some stuff out because he seems more proportionate, especially in height-wise here. This is definitely the big bang gun where you can amplify the sound. What's important to note here is the head. This head here is actually made by a company called Jintoy, and Jintoy is based in South Korea. Jintoys make amazing sculpts. This particular sculpt I've owned before, and I really actually enjoy that more heroic kind of like chiseled look that Josh Brolin brought. I might look at replacing the arm. When I originally had the Toys era Cable figure, I actually replaced the arm with a seamless arm by unscrewing the inside of the body here, removing the arm, reattaching it, rescrewing it in, and that kind of gave that seamless arm look. Figures that have joints, they usually bend the arm, so you can't see it as much. I love the detail in that arm, just the mechanics there, awesome. When you buy a Jintoy head sculpt, you get a little certificate of authenticity. Charlie, we've got the golden ticket! Looking at the figures and just seeing how they both look here, man, it's just good to have the X-Men back again. When I say X-Men, we are talking about Fox's X-Men, and we don't know what's going to happen with the Multiverse of Madness, whether or not Deadpool will actually make an appearance in the Multiverse of Madness, which would be insanely cool. I have so much fun with this, and I owned a second Jordan Kane custom figure with that PHICEN body swap. Who knows, with Andrew Garfield, it might be a third. We're going to see how that goes, and we'll keep you updated with that as well. Gumby could turn up. You never know. The Multiverse of Madness, Gumby may turn up. I'm just calling it now. That being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I sure did. We have our PHICEN Deadpool here, we have our custom Jintoy Cable here, and we have Gumby. What more can we ask for? Until next time, collectors look after collectors. I hope to see you in the next episode.